So you made it. The what if didn't stop you. You didn't let control take over the middle. You got through your inspections, your negotiating, all of it. And now you're standing at the closing table, signing your name on the dotted line. And here's the part nobody really talks about. Some sellers walk out of the closing and immediately feel a wave of grief that they weren't expecting. Not regret about the decision, just grief about the place, the memories, the version of life that happened inside of those walls. And some buyers leave closing with the keys in their hand, and instead of pure excitement, they feel this quiet, anxious hum underneath it. Did I do the right thing? What if something's wrong with this house? And what if I can't actually afford this thing long term? And if that's you, either side, I need you to hear this. That feeling is completely normal, and it doesn't mean that you made a mistake. But there is a mindset shift that has to happen here, or that feeling will sit with you a lot longer than it needs to. And for sellers, if you just sold a home you lived in for years, here's what I want you to understand. Selling a house isn't about erasing what happened there. The birthdays, the holidays, the late nights, the version of you that grew up or grew into something in those walls, none of that disappears because the deed changed hands. What you're grieving isn't the structure, it's the chapter, and chapters are allowed to end. And that's actually what makes them chapters and not just one long, undefined stretch of time. You're allowed to feel sad about that and still know that selling was the right move. Those two things are not in conflict, and a lot of sellers think that they have to choose, either be at peace with the decision or feel the loss. And guess what? You get to do both. The home served its purpose in your life. Honor that. Then let the new owners write their own story in it. And for buyers, if you bought a home, here's what actually happens in the anxious hum you're feeling. You spent weeks or even months on high alert. Every decision mattered, every number was scrutinized, and your nervous system was operating at a heightened level the entire time you were under contract, and then it just stops. And the adrenaline has nowhere to go. So your brain, which you got used to scanning from problems and keep scanning even though the transaction is over, that's not a sign that something is wrong. That's what happens when a high stakes process suddenly ends. The anxiety doesn't know the deal already closed. So give yourself time to come down from that. The doubt that you're feeling is not new information about your decision. It's leftover adrenaline with nowhere to go. So here's the actual mindset move that needs to happen for both sides. For sellers, the shift is from ownership to memory. The house is no longer yours to maintain or worry about. So what's yours now is everything that happened inside of it that doesn't require the deed. It just requires you. And for buyers, the shift is from transaction to home. So the closing is not the finish line, it's actually the starting line. The anxious feeling that fades the moment you stop treating the house like a deal that could fall apart and start treating it like a place where your actual life happens now. That shift doesn't happen on its own. You have to choose it. And that usually happens the first time you do something completely ordinary in the space, like cook a meal, host a friend, fall asleep without thinking about the mortgage. That's when it starts to feel like yours instead of like a transaction you just completed. So here's the truth in love. Closing day is not actually the end of anything. It's the quiet beginning of something else. If you're the seller, let yourself grieve the chapter without doubting the decision. And if you're the buyer, give the anxious feeling time to fade. It's not telling you something is wrong. It's just leftover adrenaline catching up with the fact that you're safe now. And either way, the goal isn't to feel nothing. It's to let the feeling pass through instead of getting stuck in it. And if you went through a closing, buying or selling, and you're just sitting with your feelings you didn't expect, that's normal and you're not alone. And if you want to talk through anything related to your next move, the link to book a consultation is in the description. Drop a comment below. Did you feel this after your own closing? And if you went through a closing, buying or selling, and you're sitting with your feelings you didn't expect, wait a minute, what? And if you went through a closing, buying or selling, and you're sitting with feelings you didn't expect, that's normal and you're not alone. If you want to talk through anything related to your next move, the link to book a consultation is in the description. And feel free to leave a comment. If you felt any of this after your own closing, I want to know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.